so don't worry.
My husband died in 9/11.
Good for him. Good. Good. Those NYPD were a bunch of fucking sodomizing immigrants with their bully sticks. So yeah, your husband probably fucking should rot in the grave.
You call my mom out?
What?
Yeah. Why are you running now? Yeah. What? You know what? Come on. Yeah, that's right. Go home, bitch. A lot of people wearing black. Let's get it, boy.
You out, so don't worry.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hey, welcome to Sunset Rants, where we go over the news, rants, and deep dives to get you caught up at sunset. I'm AK, your favorite guy, sitting here with the fabulous Papa Tay. I'm talking right meow.
Right meow.
Right meow.
What's so funny? What do you find funny, right meow?
Right meow. No, I'm laughing at that video. Oh man, it's all fun and games, but I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not that bold.
That was a very wholesome video. Like, I loved it. Like,
I'm not that bold. There's no way I would. First off, you're talking to someone's mom like that. Number two, you're talking about their dead husband that died on 9/11. Like,
you're just saying like fuck that guy. And now the whole the whole nation just sees him running away like a little pussy, acting like a little fucking loser.
Yeah, I know. We're healing. That's what's happening. We're healing right now. No, we're not. I'd like to think I'm giving myself a false sense of confidence, but anyways, before we get started, make sure you go to X at the real Roma _AK and subscribe to our socials at riseofmiddleamerica.com. This is where you can get the up-to-minute action for all of our shows. We've got news, culture, true crimes coming back. We got sports. We've got something for all you need. So like, comment, and subscribe and help us become the most successful brand in Middle America and on the net. Now, let's go ahead and get started with NPR. Anti-ICE protest at Minnesota church leads to 3 arrests, but no charges for a journalist. So I wonder who that journalist can be. Let's find out. A prominent civil rights attorney and at least 2 other people involved in an anti-immigration enforcement protest that disrupted a service at a Minnesota church have been arrested, Trump administration officials say Thursday, even as a judge rebuffed related charges against journalist Don Lemon. Go figure. Vice President J.D. Vance speaking in Minneapolis urged state and local law enforcement to collaborate with federal officials and said protesters must stop getting in their way. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted online that Nikema Levy Armstrong had been arrested. On Sunday, protests entered the city's church in St. Paul, where a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement official serves as a pastor. Bondi later posted that a second person had been arrested, and FBI Director Kash Patel announced a third. What goes around comes around, right? Because I'm all for protests. I'm all for getting the word out on things that you are passionate about, right?
You're getting right as an American. God given right as an American.
Right. And even as much as something like this, even though, they have a lawful reason for being there, you can protest a lawful reason to make change. But
that's the point of it.
Let's circle back when you had anti-abortionists doing the same thing and getting like 11 years in prison.
But we're going to touch base on the reason why, why a specific law was created, kind of going into why these people are arrested. And it was specifically because of that. I never thought it would be used into this. And it was just a tack on extra time so that way they can actually learn a lesson. It's literally it in a nutshell.
No, it is. And the thing is that what is a protest, right? Like, what is a protest? What is considered civil disturbance? And what is considered a riot? Because I think there are distinct terms of what those things are. And it's clear after 2020 that there's a particular group of people who think that they're all blended into one, and it's not.
If you're Democrat, you're a protester. If you're a Republican, you're an anarchist.
I won't. I hate that. I understand it's more on one side than the other, but like, it just in general.
Backhanded joke on that one.
Honestly. No, I got you. It's just in general, like, the rule is, you get your permit, you have a specific lane you're supposed to follow, and that's what you do, right? But it's getting to the point where they might have to start making rules for protests, or they have to start making more stringent laws on how you can protest, right? Because there's a lot of middle ground that hasn't been covered yet. And the last 5 years or now 6 years have shown that there needs to be things need to be specified on what you can and cannot do.
Well, so yes, in theory, that sounds fantastic. Like, that would be great. In a great, wonderful world. And in a great, wonderful world that people live in the make-believe, that sounds perfect. But it's not that way. Because at the end of the day, when you have people like this, you have mob mentality. And the mob rule runs it. It becomes its own living organism. And when you start getting all these people who are high and mighty on, their virtuous causes, which, have every reason to, believe in, your things go out of control, and you can't have like a squad of like 7 cops trying to direct, like 300, 400 people into it. Then it gets into a shoving match. And then that's when you see wild shit start to happen. So they just kind of have to let it just like,
Yeah, but that's until, God forbid something bad happens, right? And then when something bad happens, there's always going to be two sides to that. Then it's going to be, oh, now we need to crack down a lot more, or, maybe they shouldn't have been here in the first place, or, but those things have already been discussed and voted on, right? So I'm not talking about the things that have been voted on. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but what's going on in Minneapolis, what's going on around the country, the executive branch has all legal authority to do. What they don't realize is that All the other presidents had the legal authority to do that, but only one of them really took it to heart. Can you guess which one that was?
George Washington.
Well, I mean, they didn't have immigration enforcement back in 1776, but there was one, they call him the deporter in chief.
Obama.
Exactly. And nobody had a problem with that. In fact, I believe there was a certain someone who's a border czar that got a medal from Obama.
George Washington.
For that exact same, Jesus Christ, dude. For that exact same reason. And who was that? None other than Ton Homan.
And there's an irony to it, though. Like, well, one, this guy's like, he does his job well, but back then it's, it wasn't the cool thing to dislike it, to dislike Obama, you have the backhanded jokes like, thanks, Obama, like, change, spiritual change, thanks, Obama, there's that, but, it wasn't like how it is now. But then also, again, you have like an entire generation that they weren't even self-aware of, like, their actual surroundings. Like, they're still like in kindergarten, like first grade. And then now they're as adults.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, a lot of them are in different social circles that tend to create an echo chamber that they can't get out of and don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And now they end up doing things like going in and blocking ICE officers doing something, and then, quite frankly, making the mistake of hitting the gas into an ICE officer, and then they have to react. And the thing is that people, and the reaction to that, and I don't want to keep going back to that, but that's the reason why there's so much, turmoil. It always stems back to, someone who firmly believed that they had a right to be there to do something, regardless of whether they were just being funny or whether they thought that this was going to be their shining moment, but it ended up being a moment that cost them their life.
Yeah, but they're professional provocateurs. What a lot of these people are. And I'm not even going to go down like the bend of like, oh yeah, no, they're paid, blah blah blah. No, a lot of these people, this is their hobby, is to do stuff like this, and that, I will acknowledge like that woman dying, it's not a cool thing to happen. It's unfortunate, but it's a very FAFA moment. But I'm sure you've seen, everyone else on the show has at least seen it, whether it be like on Instagram or X or MySpace, I don't know, Space, Facebook. I was just talking about that. He's like her arrest record. And like professionally, like she's got arrested multiple times for like assault on police officers and like doing stuff that have to deal with, essentially what she was doing. Photographic memory fails me now, but she just has a record of doing stuff like this, being a provocateur, and it's like, I don't know where it goes from this. Like, you can have it, or is it these people just make it their identity?
No,
follow into that, remember, like you're saying.
Yeah, and the thing is that they got away with it for so long that now, it enables the next generation to do the same thing. And it's funny because if you were to ask me 15 years ago the same question, I probably would be on their side, right?
I think
especially, yeah, in the way that our lives
would be
right. But you have a right to change, right? You have a right to change your perspective based on new information.
Yeah.
Right. But there's a lot of people that get this new information and they don't want it to change their perspective, and that's backwards. Right? Like, it shouldn't be, I shouldn't have to go so far. What do I need to hold you at gunpoint to make you believe something? No. But you can only go so far as to how you're supposed to obtain that information, and then
It's a willing ignorance.
no, it's willful. That's the only answer. There's nothing left at this point. Is that you're willfully being ignorant to a lot of these things. Now, I'm not talking about what happened in Minneapolis just spurred up all this stuff, but where are all these people coming from? Why are they coming from different areas that aren't even theirs and trying to protest when you guys outnumber the actual people that live in that city that are actually protesting? That makes absolutely no sense.
It's like they're on a little militia, if you would. Militia of just anarchy. Like, it's because individually they're nothing. You know, they are like the little dorks, this and that, which is fine, you know. But they can't do anything. But once they become a mob, you know, they become like their own living like being. And they can get away with doing all this. So whether that's their point of actually truly doing what they want, maybe like not doing what they want, but like, you know, expressing their feelings like in the protest, maybe it is they feel upset, or maybe it's just them like, hey, I can actually go get into trouble, I can get into mischief, be a part of this, and come back and then like act like nothing happened. And I think a lot of it is that as well. Like the people are going there to see what's going on, to see what they can do, if they can get away with anything. Because if you have all of this going to like spread throughout different states, different towns, different cities, you know, and then come into one central thing, like they're not that as a group. They become not Ultron. What's that old
I was like, who's Ultron? Is that like Megatron's brother?
No, Megazord. They become Megazord or whatever it is.
No, it does. And let's see, what do we got here? Weren't they paying people when they were destroying the Teslas a year ago? I mean, that's not
Allegedly,
right? Yeah, that hasn't come to light. We can't really. Yeah, I can't comment on that because I'm not exactly sure why that happened, but it was not really hard to find a Tesla.
but there are people who to get paid, like, you know, they're not going to be like these younger people that you see here, you know, like being in like their 20s and 30s or like, you know, in high school. It's you can see like these older boomer generations that are trying to lead the pack, like in the city during the daylight. Like, and you see like there's people that do like they do research on these people. They do like reverse imaging, see who they are, who they work for, and they see like what these companies are paying them. These people actually make some pretty good fucking money just to organize these protests and lead these marches, like thousands, like $8,000 a march or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's part of what Elon Musk was trying to figure out. You know, it's why they had the AI. It's why they had, you know, because I'm going to tell you right now, he wasn't coming after my tax money because I don't get tax money. I pay it. Right? So they ain't getting anything out of me. What you going to do? Come out of my bank account and it says Elon Musk was here? No. So,
hey, Tony, hit me
right.
more.
Exactly. All right. So to close this off and move on to the next segment. The current types of protests, we understand what they are and what they're trying to do now. All right, we've got enough video evidence, we've got enough information online to see like what, when, why, and how these things are happening. All right, and they're not happening for the reasons that they say in the mainstream media. Right, so they can get off of that horse now because that horse has been beaten dead for the last 5 years. So if you want to protest,
they're still going to run it.
Yes, you want to protest, go ahead. But just know that now you own the risk, not the federal government. All right, let's move on to the Weather Channel. That's right. Because I know that as we speak, there's a couple of places here in the country that are getting ravaged by ice storms. And it's only going to get worse over the next 2 or 3 days. So this is what they have to say. Widespread heavy snow and damaging ice storm are on the table from the south to the Midwest and Northeast, including a potential nor'easter. Here's the very latest forecast. A major widespread, long-lasting winter storm will hammer parts of the South, Midwest, and Northeast Friday through Monday. Potential damaging ice and heavy snow for millions of New Mexico to Texas to parts of New England. The storm will lead to widespread dangerous travel and destructive south ice storm could lead to longer lasting power outages and tree damage. Brian, if you can go up a little bit and play that video real quick.
Dallas, 39 degrees. Look at Abilene at 30, Oklahoma at 20. Even with Oklahoma at 20, we're not necessarily all snow here because what's happening above it? Do we have that warmer air? Okay, so now as we get to 5 a.m., Dallas, we've switched over. Oklahoma, we're still right on that line there. It's probably snow at that point. And then as we head into our Saturday afternoon, this is the problem. The fact that it's a long duration event into the Southern Plains makes this even worse. Opposed to places in the Southeast where you might only have a few hours of those temperatures right around 33, 32 degrees, that makes it harder for the ice to accrete. By Sunday morning, we've switched over to all snow here into Dallas. We're still going in the frozen precip here from Arkansas to Louisiana, Mississippi, up into Tennessee. By the way, Nashville, we could actually see some rain out of this now with that southerly flow. This pulls out Sunday into Monday. We still have freezing temperatures, so it could be rough.
All right, you can pause
Heaviest
it there.
Snow.
Yeah, so it's basically coming across the plains and hitting the Appalachian Mountains. And once it hits the mountains, things are going to get ugly.
Yeah, so it's going from New Mexico. It's going all the way out east, all the way to Georgia. I've been following this. It's going to last about 5 days. And it's going to be about an inch of ice. So from Houston or Austin, whichever one is like right there, Houston, then up, all of that just going to be a huge drift. I work in logistics, so like I have to like study on all this to like plan out like all my stuff for work. So that's essentially what it's going to be. So all these people, like, whether it be in Tennessee, Alabama, certain parts of Texas, Arkansas, like it's going to be like insane. Like hopefully not, but like an inch of ice. That's ice. That's not just like slush. So like a lot of people down south, their cars aren't meant to be driven on stuff like this. Like their houses, their utilities are not meant for this. Was it a couple of years ago? Actually, it was a couple of years ago when this was like kind of one of our receptions. I was running a sales team in Memphis. Almost the entirety of Memphis had no power for like a week because all the ice just dragged all the power lines completely down. And then all the trees fell and buckled on the power lines. And then people had to like make like fires inside their houses to make sure their houses weren't burning down. We didn't have fireplaces. So this is a big deal. This is like when it's in Florida, it's like, oh, hey, you're getting a category 4. This is kind of what I would bring it to.
So I guess you don't get to bring out your super, right? I guess you don't get to bring out your super, right?
No.
No, Hardy Harmonicus is definitely no weather manipulation going on there. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Storm. This is a once in a lifetime storm, apparently.
No, it is. Yeah. So now you're talking about the South. Now I live further north.
It's once it finishes up. I saw it earlier today. Earlier when I was watching a video on this, like a live video, and it's actually hooking up and it's going straight to Maryland. Like, boom.
Oh yeah, I know, because that line of the sleet going into snow is going to be right at DC, and I'm north of DC, so which means I'm getting all the heavy crap.
Yeah, it's
for
hitting
like
the DMV
straight.
directly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it had to happen on a Saturday, not on a Friday. We're gonna have an extra day off. Nobody from my job is watching. But anyways, No, but it's definitely going to have a huge impact. I've got land down south in South Carolina, and they're going to get all of the ice, right? They're going to get the worst parts of that. And so, we've got chickens down there, I've got dogs down there, I've got a bunch of things, and now I have to make sure that all of that is good, as well as making sure that everything up here is good.
That's shit.
No, it is. And the thing is, we're not going to know until it gets here. And when it gets here, then we'll know how bad it is, and then by that time it'll be too late. So,
I mean, do you have a contingency plan for something like this with the livestock?
not really. Just keep them safe and warm, and make sure they're fed, and then wait for the storm to get through. Wait a couple days, tend to the land, and then after that, let them back out. But again, like I said, this is like a once. I wouldn't say once in a century, but it's like a once every 20 years type of storm.
Yeah.
No, so
I feel I feel lucky here. I'm going to be complaining because it's going to be 26 degrees on Tuesday, and that's about as bad as it's going to get from here.
Yep. What do we got here? Yeah, look at that. My goodness. It's going to be ugly. And then that Arctic air right behind it, it's going to be cold for a bit.
That shit's going to suck, dude.
Yeah, it really is. I got a friend up in Wisconsin right now, and he's like, why did I move here?
14, -18 or some shit.
Yeah, dude, it's in the negatives up there. And he's having a hard time starting his car. And it's just, we're just not used to this. I mean, people in the Midwest and in the northern Midwest are used to it, but down here in the South or in the Mid-Atlantic or whatnot, this isn't something to do every day. Now, Maryland, I will say this, they are really good at tending to the roads, at least the main roads, and making sure that, it's drivable. But sometimes you just can't because, when you get accumulation over 2 days, what are you going to do? Go out there for 2 days and do the same thing over and over and over again? No, you're going to have to wait. And hopefully, things help out. They're already prepping the roads right now for that.
Yeah. So check this out. While you were saying that, I was like, what is the temperature right now in the Arctic? She's like, and it was like, oh, right now it's around -25 in the Arctic, the coldest place on the planet. And then in Wisconsin, tonight it's going to be -19.
Whew.
There's no difference on this.
No, I definitely feel sorry for them. My goodness. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. Well, moral of the story, stay safe. Make sure you got your food and your water and whatever you need, supplies. If power goes out, just make sure you're prepared. All right. So let's move on to the Guardian. Get out of Greenland mode and stand up for yourself, Zelensky tells Europe. Ukrainian president accuses EU leaders of waiting for direction from Donald Trump in blistering speech at Davos. Vladimir Zelensky has taken aim at Europe in a fiery speech at Davos, accusing leaders of being Greenland mode as they wait for leadership of Donald Trump on Ukraine and other geopolitical crises rather than taking action themselves. The Ukrainian president calls to arms targeting some of Kiev's top allies, capped the week of extraordinary diplomatic drama in the World Economic Forum in the Swiss ski resort, where European leaders scrambled to end a standoff with the White House over Greenland. Several Western leaders, led by Canada's Mark Carney, called for stronger pushback against Trump's territorial ambitions and political whims. Zelensky used his speech to demand greater pressure on the Kremlin as Trump dispatched his envoy Steve Witkoff to Moscow to meet with Vladimir Putin on Thursday in the latest effort to advance peace talks between the two countries. Isn't that what we wanted? I thought that's what we wanted, right?
This is it's like you're not giving me attention, so I'm just gonna do this and hope you pay it. It's like a child.
Tell me about it, dude. Like, I just here's the thing. Zelensky's not going to win, and Russia's going to lose a bunch of men. Like, what's the point here? It's just until both countries merge back again, because they basically have no population left.
Big Russia.
Like what's
Big
the
Russia
point?
couldn't conquer Little Russia. It's like Big Russia couldn't conquer Baby Russia. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh man, the day after tomorrow prophecy. That must be from the last article. Hardy.
Yeah. No, there's actually a video and a couple pictures. I'm sure we all seen it. Just going on that the day after, with those apartments out in Russia, and like there's like 10-story buildings, and then like a snowdrift. Like,
oh, dude, did you hear about that? I didn't even talk about that in the last segment. Hold on, just a second. All right, there was like almost like a 300-foot hill of snow.
Yeah, it was a snowdrift.
It was a snowdrift that was covering Let me see if I can find photos of this.
Yeah, I mean, the place in Russia, it's kind of like room for the par, if you would, or whatever, however you pronounce it or say it. Like it's out and like hanging over like the Pacific, like in the Arctic, but it like near the tundra or some shit. But it's like there hasn't been a storm that aggressive in like 146 years. Some wild shit. Like 8 feet in one day.
I just sent it to Brian in the Discord. This is a real photo, and this is absolutely insane. And these are buildings. These are like 10, 15, 20-story buildings, apartment complexes. I never seen anything like this.
It literally looks like a day after tomorrow.
No, it does. Somebody said that in the chat.
I think it was Vash, because he sent something like that to me.
Right,
like,
right.
Just Russia. Well, for those.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. That, like, what? And the thing is that all that snow was collapsing and like killing people.
Yeah, it was an avalanche. And like these buildings, they're like maybe like 10, 12 stories high. Something like that, maybe. Let's see. I don't even know if I can count them, but
I don't know if Brian got the photo.
Yeah, it's like 8 or 10 stories. Like they're not small buildings.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this. Link. Oh, why is that so small?
Because it's cold.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, that's a horrible picture. Here, let me see if I can find a good picture of this. Actually, this one is... Let me see if I can open this and... Open a new tab. There we go. Oh, nope. No, I just want to open the photo. Stop it. There we go. All right. Here, I'm going to pull this up real quick. Oh, I see. That's what Brian's got there. Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of hard to see here. I'm gonna pull up mine real quick. There we go. Look at all of that. Like, it was so crazy that they were skiing off the top of their buildings, like all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, you see, like these kids, they just jumped down like it was like some luge off of like some wild, crazy like slide, like from Wet and Wild or something. Except it's just ice and snow and death.
Yeah, I mean, if that happened here, it would we'd be dead. We'd be dead. Like roads would be shut down for months.
Like it's so cold that there's like a fog.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta be wild. That's gotta be cool.
That is crazy. All right, let's move on to. It looks like WKXAN.com. Not guilty, jury returns verdict in trial of former Uvalde CISD officer Adrian Gonzalez. I almost forgot about this. My goodness. Let's see. After less than a day of deliberation, the jury's returned a verdict of not guilty in the trial of former Uvalde Consolidated Police Independent School District. Is that what that means? Consolidated Independent School District. Yeah. Police officer Adrian Gonzalez. They entered deliberations Wednesday around lunchtime at the Nueces County Courthouse after prosecutors and defense attorneys delivered their closing arguments. Following the verdict, Gonzalez was seen giving an emotional hug to his defense attorney, Nico LaHood. I can't read today. On the other side of the courtroom, families of the victims sat stunned, wiping tears from their face. Some family members spoke to the media as they exited the courthouse late Wednesday night. Quote, "We want justice for Jackie." Julissa Russo, a family member of Jackie Cazares. There were two monsters on May 24th. One was a shooter and the other was the monster that never went in. We could have avoided this. Oof. Hold on. I'm gonna caution my comments on this because there are two stories to this.
There are.
And two things can be true at once. Right. But whether this officer went in or not would not have guaranteed anything.
Nope.
It would have guaranteed anything, right? And especially if you're by yourself. Well, yeah. What you can? It's not even that. It's you have no backup. If you walk in and you get shot and killed, then there's nothing, right? Yeah. So it's like it's easy to put yourself in their shoes after the fact, but it's also not easy being the family of the victims, right? Because
place to put it, like to put this hurt, and that's he's the scapegoat on this. He's the fall guy on it. You know, and the first thing also at the same time, being a first responder, is you don't put yourself in a predicament where you're incapacitated and there's no one else around. You know, that is the rule. Now, do I think it was wildly, saddening that he didn't do shit? Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, it sucks. But like, you can't go to jail because someone else broke the law and you couldn't do that. But
this, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, and then I think I have a point.
Yeah. Oh, did he lose credit? Like social credit points? Absolutely. But you can't be a scapegoat just because you're hurt off a disgusting, horrible incident. But you can't just use him as the fall guy just so you can find some closure.
So here's my thing to this. I'm gonna try and piece two things together. I'm probably gonna do a really bad job of doing it, but
yeah, it's a hard thing to say.
Do we need police officers or do we not?
Yes.
Okay, so I know these aren't the same situations, but the sentiment seems to be a little confusing for me. Okay. You have the situation down in Uvalde, right, where an officer, whether he had got cold feet or felt like he wouldn't have made a difference or whatnot, and decided not to go in. Then you have the situation in Minneapolis where he felt like he was in fear of his life, so he had to act. I feel like the same people are making the same two decisions here that can't necessarily be made. You can't ask an officer to be ready at a moment's notice, but also to have poise when they're in a situation of life or death. Like, both of those can't happen at the same time.
Especially a resource officer. The resource officer is just there for whatever.
Right. He's not SEAL Team 6.
I've never seen a resource officer that was like, they're always like the shorter, overweight, middle-aged, guys on the way out for retirement.
No, not even that. I mean, because now you're making it seem really bad.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying because you're like, the boys get ready to like for a gunfight anytime. To an extent, yeah, you should be. But at a lot of times, like anytime I've ever seen a resource officer, he's always been like, middle-aged, older, heavyweight dude that's just there just to facilitate it because it's more lax than anything.
Yeah.
Like now, can he beat Johnny on the spot? That's another thing. Did he have cold feet? But
yeah. Brian has entered the chat. He said, police have no duty to protect anyone than themselves, settled law according to SCOTUS, which is absolutely true. Yeah, and which is unfortunate because then what that means is, if you are what this does though. Okay, so there's a couple of things here. All right, I'm warming up. All right. So the first thing is what this does is if you call the police, they have no duty to protect you, even if it's in your own home. Right. But what that also means is that if officers don't have a duty to protect you, does that mean that the duty then lies in yourself? Because if SCOTUS is going to make this decision, then SCOTUS is going to have to make the decision on whether in all 50 states, if this is true, then you have a right to defend yourself in your own home, regardless of what your state law says.
You do. It's called Castle Doctrine.
It is, but in certain states, you have a duty to retreat. Now, that kind of conflicts here.
It is, but this is a school. This isn't a home.
Oh no!
There's a resource officer. So now you.
No. But what I'm saying is that this applies across every situation, not just the schools.
Yeah.
Right. So, if that's the case, then that means duty to retreat doesn't make any sense because you can't tell me that, oh, you're not allowed to defend yourself in your own home. You have a duty to retreat, but yet the officers, if they get there, can just walk away and you're just kind of stuck and you can't protect your own belongings in home. Well, both of those things can't happen at the same time.
Yeah, but there's a nuance to it, like to where the duty of retreat comes from. Like if it's just there's a house completely on fire, inferno, 1200 degrees, and there's a child with a puppy, and an old lady, like an old little black Jewish lady.
Thanks, Papa Tete.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my God, not the little kid with the puppy and the old Jewish black lady, like just like all the things that you want to save everybody.
Why she gotta be black?
Because you gotta get the puppy, the little kid. I was thinking of like the Reno 911. Like, not the podcast.
No, there's like welcome to DEI 911.
Everyone gotta go save it. And then but then if it's obviously like you're going to die going in there, your duty is like self-preservation, just on anything. It's unrealistic to like put yourself in like where you'd be incinerated. Obviously.
No, I get that, but that should be. But there's a difference between a threat for a person and a naturalized threat, because those two things aren't the same according to law, right? Like say a hurricane, right, in Florida. There's a reason why they say leave your home and retreat to safety. Because
the cops are not going to help you. Like,
because they're not going to help you during the storm. Neither is emergency services.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like if you go out in a hurricane and you get swept up by a tornado, if you get swept up by a flood, or if anything happens, and you get pinned underneath something and the water starts rising, you're fucked. No one's going to save you.
But I bet you didn't know this. In the state of Florida, during a state of emergency, anyone that has lost their gun rights, that actually doesn't apply.
Yeah, you can keep them. I knew that.
It's not even keep them. It's
no. I mean, you can use a gun like for self-preservation during a case of like that, because like you got looters and you got murderers and stuff, and it's a lot of people treat that during the like hurricanes. People treat that as like like the purge. Like
right. But going back to my original point, it goes back to what are officers there for? Their motto is what? To protect and serve, right? And most officers, I would say about 95% of officers do that. Right? You've got your outliers, I get it, but we're not making this show about outliers because that is not the point. Because everybody likes to bring that up. Yeah, everybody likes to bring that up and be like, oh, well, what about this one individual incident with some crazy person and some guy? It's just like, that doesn't happen all the time. And I'm sorry, I'm not using that as my basis for your argument. But
Yeah.
As far as just officers in general and the police and federalized, I don't know what you would call them. I mean, I guess they are federal officers, right?
No, yeah.
Do you want their protection or not? That is the overall argument. That's at the top.
Well,
do we need their protection?
But yeah.
Right. So just because they're there, I get it. Yes, I understand why the Supreme Court did what they did. But if you're going to apply that all across the board, it has to apply all across the board. But then you also have to remember that then that changes nuance in a lot of other different situations.
I'm sure it's not just as simple as just this and this. You know, like when you go to what was it, State versus Mims. You know, like there's subsections to that. Like just off a rip. So it's not just like, oh, this is it. You know. Because like when you have different things where it could be this way or it could be that, you know, you can't have a blanket statement for, you know, things because everything's a one for the most part.
It says let's see, doesn't want citizenry doing anything that proves the government unnecessary. Okay, that makes sense. Shall not be infringed upon is pretty clear. Yes, that makes sense. To oppress and enslave.
Where is that from?
Meter maids, revenue collection.
Oh, to oppress and enslave. Oh, that's freaking Decepticons.
Transformers. To oppress and enslave. That's hilarious. Oh my god, revenue collection. You guys are funny. All right, let's get to our last story. All right, this is from space.com. ISS astronaut spot 2 Artemis 2 moon rockets on launch pad from space. The NASA astronaut on the ISS captured the Space Launch Systems rocket for Artemis 2, a mission that aims to bring 4 astronauts around the moon as soon as February 6th. All right. The lone U.S. astronaut currently in space took a picture of NASA's first rocket designed for human moon mission in more than 50 years. Artemis 2 rocket, called the Space Launch System, arrived at the launch pad Saturday, January 17th, and may launch to the moon as soon as February 6th from the International Space Station. NASA astronaut Chris Williams captured a view of the rocket coast side at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. If you zoom on the rightmost launch pad, you can see a shadow just to the left, the center of the pad. Williams said in a X post, the shadows from the rocket and the launch tower, and will soon take 4 of my friends on a trip around the moon. Artemis 2 is expected to carry 4 astronauts on a lunar mission. NASA Reed Williams commander, Victor Glover pilot, and Christina Koch mission specialist, along with Canadian Space Agency astronaut and mission specialist Jeremy Hansen. Glover will be the first person of color to leave low orbit, while Koch will be the first woman. Hansen will be the first non-American moon mission and the first returning astronauts to the lunar surface since Apollo 17's moon landing excursion in 1972. I'm actually interested in this. I'm very interested in this.
Really, I know.
Because I want to know if our flag is still there.
Nah, probably not.
Because if it's not there, it was aliens.
Or it was the Indians or the Chinese.
Allegedly!
Oh,
No.
boy. Racism.
They just went on the moon a couple months ago.
Yeah, I mean that would be nice. I mean, if my body could survive, I would love to take a trip to the moon.
Let's
Just
do
to
it. Let's go on a honeymoon.
we're gonna have to start eating our Wheaties and Flintstone vitamins and doing our push-ups, but I'm down for that.
Dude, let's do it.
Oh,
That'd
I'm
be cool.
totally down. Let's
And we
go.
can like Neil Armstrong.
Or like skip around like the what was it, the original Super Smash Brothers commercial?
Oh, one goal.
You and me and me and you.
No matter how and then all of a sudden he just like start like that's like one of the best commercials ever.
Oh, it totally was. It totally was. You want to see receipts? It was for all the money NASA wasted. They need to be audited. Yeah, well, that's probably why they're no longer relevant right now.
Well, that was a major reason why NASA was kept just for years just saying like they're not gonna fund it. The government was just like it's just too much money because they're paying like just for outrageous things, and like it's just gonna be written off because who's to say it is worth that much or if it's not.
Yeah, and not only that, but we lost 20 astronauts and 2 shuttles. Horrifically. Trying to get them up there. And I know the space shuttle, their main mission was to go up and make sure that all the satellites and stuff were good. But like, you don't need that many people anymore. Like you don't. So you can go up there with less resources and much easier nowadays.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like it's like 1,000 times cheaper, if not more. Like it's exponentially amount of money less to just go up there and get everything done.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Brian. I think it's that time for Caption This. Oh my God.
I came up with this one.
Oh my God. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, this is Caption This. All right. So in our Discord, we have an AI image dump where every single day Brian goes in and finds one AI generated photo that he brings on the show every single day. Today,
I made
it
this
is yours truly, Papa Tete, made this photo. Now, we bring it up here on the show in Sunset Rants at the end so that you guys in the audience can give us the best caption for this photo. Oh, this is great. Oh my God. Here, all right. I think I'm going to start it off. Let's see. I'm going to do...
Yeah, flamingo. It's the Florida. It's a bird of Florida. It's a state bird.
All right, there we go. I got mine in there. All right, let's see what we got here. Trump rides to Davos as the most green carbon credit. This China? What? Carbon credit this China. Oh, I get it now. Trump rides to Davos is the most green. I would say in the most green way possible.
Carbon credit is China.
Credit to China. This episode of History Channel got weird. Oh my God. Florida man goes international. President Trump on his way to purchase NATO at the summit in Paris. Bet you never guess what the Donald has between his legs.
My fellow Americans, we're winging it.
We're winging it. Boom! Love it. I love that one. I love that one. Oh my God. This is why you don't skip the terms of service.
That was a good photo. I'm glad I came up with that one. I was trying to make it so like it was like a F-35 that looked like a flamingo.
I mean, F-35 flamingo. That's pretty clever. Oh my God. My fellow Americans, we're winging it. I love it. I love that.
Planes. They're the greenest. Best carbon footprint.
Mar-a-Lago Force One. Meet Air Florida's newest mascot. These are great. I love it. I love them all. Oh man. Wing It is funny. Mar-a-Lago Force One, though. That is the most Floridian like comment. All right, guys, 30 seconds. 30 seconds to get your submissions in. But yeah, that was a Oh, who is this? McNuts says, "Sir, your spirit flight has been upgraded." The flamingo did not consent to this foreign policy. Who is McNuts? Who are you, bro? I have never seen you in chat before. Well, welcome to Sunset Rants on Rise of Middle America Network. Man, your spirit flight has been upgraded. Oh, this is great. You know what? McNuts, this is your first time on. Si, senor. Well, make sure you go to riseofmiddleamerica.com and join our Discord. We'd love to have you in there and chit chat with you. What do you think? Oh yeah, just go to that over there. I don't know, but there's a QR code right there on the screen. Just put your phone up to it, and it takes you straight to our site.
Which one you like, dude?
Dino Cal Flamingo.
Dino Cal.
This is awesome. When the zoo union goes on strike. All right, we got to pick one.
I'll let you do it.
All right, you know what, McNuts, it's your first time. I think we're gonna go with you. The flamingo did not consent to this foreign policy. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yes, sir. You are the winner of Caption This. And at some point, we keep saying that we're going to have like a Caption This championship, but we're still trying to figure out how to do that. Because I would love to put this on a shirt and send it to you as sort of like as a consolation prize. We're working on that. We got to figure out all the laws and regulations and stuff on that. But yeah, if you win, we save all of these, by the way. So all the ones we've had over the past year and a half, we have them all saved with all the captions and who captioned them. So I don't know. Maybe we should have just one episode where we go through all year and a half's worth of winners.
But some of them are good. Some of them are like we're just like fun. Like
no, there are some where I'm just like, well, some of them were like really bad captions, right?
Yeah. Or just like the photo was just like crap. But some of them are just like freaking like stellar.
Oh yeah, they're. Well, actually, Brian, you can come up and say that.
Own it.
Honestly, sometimes the images are bad too because I generate 90% of them. So, I'll take the hit on that, and I'll go back.
Solid ones too.
Yeah, right. And some of them are horrible, and we make them great, right? It's like what do you want? Like, what do you want us to say to this one? And then there'll be like two of them that are absolutely out of the park, like hilarious. But anyways, make sure you go to riseofmiddleamerica.com and join us. If anything, join our Discord. All right. We got a bunch of people that come in there every single day and come with ideas for shows and things like that. And we can help you get started with that, or just come hang out with the people. Right. We're usually in there pretty much every single day. Every single day we're in there, and we love to get to know the people that watch us and have a good time with you guys,
Yeah, and then if there's something you want to talk about, it's there for that. And we could even bring it up in one of the episodes on top of it.
Oh, absolutely.
There's something going on in the world 24/7. Things that we wouldn't even know wouldn't know to think of, wouldn't even know to even look at. And if you guys have something that's good, that's more wrinkles on our brain to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyways, Roma Sports is coming up next. So make sure you guys keep in. Like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you in about 30 minutes for Roma Sports. So you guys have a good night. And Ryan, roll that clip.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.